is February, and that means it is time for Blackathon. Hi, I am Tara Zweiger, and this month I am so excited to be joining Blackathon again for the second or third year in a row. Last year it gave me a lot of great books to read, and it's really just the opportunity to celebrate and read books and watch movies by Black creators. So Blackathon is a readathon created by Jessie of Books and Bowties. I am on team thriller horror because that's what I like to read. I have a couple books that are not really in that genre that I got from the library, but I'm going to stick mostly with thriller and horror and fulfilling some of my Read Harder Challenge prompts. I'll be doing that this month as well. So this has been on my list forever. I picked it up at my used bookstore. Devil in a Blue Dress by Walter Mosley. It is set in Los Angeles in 1948. It's a noir following Easy Rawlins. He has several books following that character. He's a Black War veteran. White man in a linen suit offers good money if Easy will find somebody who's missing. So this book actually has a movie adaptation starring Denzel Washington and directed by a Black director. So I am going to read this and then watch that. It's available on Hulu, I think, or you can buy it on Amazon or Apple. Now, the actually first book I'm reading this month, because I already started reading it, is Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. This is a short horror in which members of the Ku Klux Klan are actual monsters called Ku Kluxes. Not everyone is one of those monsters. Sometimes people turn into those monsters. We're kind of learning how it's happening. There are 3 Black women who are fighting the Ku Kluxes. They have special abilities. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's creepy and scary, and it's just really good so far. And it's horror. This fulfills the Read Harder challenge of reading a horror book written by a person of color. So I will also be completing that yearly challenge by reading this. Next up is Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This is a dark academia book set in it's an elite university, but when you get accepted, you have to give your entire life to Catherine House, and you don't see or talk to anyone outside of Catherine House. So I'm interested to see what happens. The author is a Black woman, so this will count for 20 books by Black women. A challenge started by Melanated Reader. I'll link to the challenge below so you can see that. And this has been on my list forever, so I'm excited to get to this. Another horror book on my reading list this month is Lovecraft Country. This has also been on my list since it came out, I think, last year. Of course, now it has I think an Amazon Prime show, maybe a Netflix show, inspired by it. And my husband and I both want to watch the show and read the book. I love this binding. This is a library book, but you see it's like hardbound, but it looks worn. It looks old. It's set in Chicago in 1950s, and it follows a 22-year-old Army veteran, another veteran, who is going on this road trip across New England to find his father. And it is like Lovecraftian monsters are real. I don't know any more than that. I don't really like to read the whole description of a book before I read it, especially if it's got some suspense in it. So that's Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. And I am gonna start the show after I read the book. Next on my list is a book that's been on my to-read list for a really long time. That's Bluebird Bluebird by Attica Locke. The author is a Black woman. This is a crime novel that follows a Black Texas Ranger as he solves a mystery. There's a murder mystery, and he has a complicated life in East Texas as a Black man and as a law enforcement agent. And this is actually the first book in a 2-book series. So there might be more books coming, but I know there are 2 out now. If I like it, I'll be reading them both. It's a book I don't yet have from the library. I hope it comes in for me in time, because it is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby, and this has been this is a literally dead book club pick. So the Literally Dead book club is a book club by Kayla of Books and Lala, and I have been reading along with the book club since it started, I think 2 years ago. I think this is the 3rd year, maybe the 2nd. And I almost always read what they read. Catherine House was actually a book club pick that I didn't get in from the library. And then there's a discussion at the end of the month with some hosts that I always like. It's just fun to read along. I don't know that I ever say anything, so she has no idea I'm reading along, but Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby is, I don't even know what it is. So this is following two dads whose sons were in a relationship, one black, one white, and something happens with the sons, and the dads are looking to solve the crime, get revenge, something, learning a lot about each other while they're on the open road. And then I have one last crime book this month on my list, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to this one or not. This is The Plot is Murder by V.M. Burns. This is a cozy mystery set in, it's called a mystery bookshop mystery. So it's set in a mystery bookshop. Of course, there are dogs on the cover. This would fit the Read Harder challenge to read a book set in a bookstore. And I've been wanting to read mysteries by V.M. Burns for a while. So the author is a Black woman, and we are following the owner of the bookstore as she tries to solve a murder that happens that her and her bookshop are implicated in. Classic, cozy, premise. So I'm excited to see how I like it because there are a lot more books in this series. Next three books are not mysteries, but they've been on my list and they came in for me, and I've already started reading two of them. All Along You Are Blooming is a book of poetry by Morgan Harper Nichols. It's a gorgeous book with her artwork on the inside. I follow her on Instagram. I'll link her below. It's so beautiful. Her writing is gorgeous and I love it, and it's encouraging. And I am reading this with my cup of coffee in the morning, reading a couple pages. Some pages don't have much. It's really beautiful and encouraging, and I love it. Makes me happy. I've also been reading This Long Thread by Jen Hewitt. This is a book that really collects up the stories of makers of color. So I sew and knit, and Jen Hewitt is a pattern surface designer, and she is talking to sewists and knitters and weavers and dyers and spinners, women of color across the kind of thread fabric craft spectrum. Some are essays, some are interviews, some are essays that the women have written, and then some are, she did a survey of, I think she said around 400 women of color, and some are just their answers to it. So I'm 89 pages in. Oh, this is like a survey question, and then it's a bunch of different people's answers to the survey question. And I'm enjoying it. I read it at night, usually read a couple, like one interview or one survey question, and it is just, it's so inspiring and beautiful, and I love hearing about people's histories and how they got into their craft, and it's a really beautiful, wonderful book to have. I bought this book, so it's on my craft shelf forever and ever. And the last book on my list is actually a graphic novel. So it's Wake, The Hidden Histories of Women-Led Slave Revolts. I'm not sure what inspired me to pick this up, but I saw it and I had to get it. It is, I'm looking for a page, it's not too, it is a graphic novel. It's all in black and white, at least the version that my library had. And it's really the story of a Black historian woman as she learns about women-led slave revolts. So it's a story of the slave revolts, and it's also the story of the woman who is doing the research, the historian, Rebecca Hall. It's Wake, The Hidden Histories of Women-Led Slave Revolts. This year I hope to read more graphic novels. One last book on my to-read list this month. This is a lot of books. I hope I get to them. One last book on my list this month is A Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams. This is actually the read-along book for Blackathon for the mystery thriller, and I've requested it on my library. They actually didn't have it they didn't own it, so I requested that they buy it. It came out in 2021. And I requested that they buy it and let me have it. So we'll see if they get it. I also just realized it's on Kindle Unlimited. So if it doesn't come in for me in the next week or so, I will probably get it on Kindle Unlimited and read it that way. If you ever want to read something your library doesn't have, most libraries have a form you can fill out where you request for them to buy stuff. So I do that a lot, and then the library will buy it and the author will get those royalties, and then I have it and it's accessible to my entire community, not just me. So after I finish reading it, I take it back. I absolutely do buy books, but we have a limited budget and we have a limited space. So right now, a good half of all my books are still in boxes. Because of that limited space, I get a lot of my books at the library. And if you also like to get books from the library, it supports authors, it supports your local community, and you can request that they buy books they don't have. So that's what I do. I'd love to know what you're reading this month. Leave a comment below and let me know. Are you joining Blackathon? What is on your list? Do you have any other mystery, thriller, suspense, horror, crime books that I should read this month by Black authors? Let me know in the comments below what I should read next. I hope to be back with an update on what I read, what I like. I might do a vlog during the week of Blackathon, which starts the February 7th. If you would like to see me read them in real time or hear about them as I'm going through it, let me know which one you prefer that I read during the vlog, and we will see what happens next week. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be more bookish videos every week. Have a fantastic February and happy reading.